This is the Transformers Studio Series from the movie Transformers 1, Voyager class, Sentinel Prime. He is no Prime. And here's a look at the packaging. Very nice. Windows are back with the plastic seal. I picked up this figure from Amazon. Let's get this bad boy out of packaging. And here is the Studio Series Sentinel Prime out of the packaging. And this figure it looks just crap, man. I mean, on paper, this should be an amazing figure. It's got fantastic engineering. There's this battle mode feature that there's so much engineering going on. Transformation is great. The sculpting is great. I mean, I wish the wings could have been more pointy. They got this kick-ass blueprint for an amazing figure. And what do? They decide to save money and use crap to build this figure. Blockies is killing it with their model kits. You guys should have taken a page from Blockies and used the same plastic and paint that they've been using. Man, I don't know what to make of this figure. Let's take a closer look at the details of this new craptastic Sentinel Prime. Head to toe, the figure stands at about 15.5 centimeters tall, or about 6 1/8 inches tall. For some comparisons, here he is with the Age of the Primes, Prima and Solus Prime. I think they can fit nicely on your shelf. I do wonder if we are going to get Transformers 1 versions of the Primes. Here he is with the Studio Series Devastation Deluxe Class Optimus Prime and the Transformers 1 Deluxe Class Bumblebee. Both these figures are Studio Series figures and they have impeccable premium plastic. I don't understand why suddenly Hasbro turns around and tells us, oh, okay, you've had your fill. Now we're going to give you we're going to go back to the old crap plastic for you guys because, I don't know, we spent too much money on designing, engineering, and sculpting this guy. Didn't have money to get the good stuff. So here you go. We're going to give you the crap plastic. Okay, just look at the wings alone. Okay, they may feel solid, but the choice of plastic? What was stopping you from using Bumblebee's plastic? I mean, that would have saved you some money. Bumblebee has this really nice sort of pseudo flake gold metallic plastic. Why couldn't have they done that? Why are they giving poop, diarrhea poop, squash, a colored, mustard colored plastic instead of gold? Now, let me bring in something that might or may not blow your mind away. Okay, this is Blocky's take on Transformers 1 Sentinel Prime. Now, granted, it is a model kit. It doesn't transform. It's fully articulated. This thing transforms. It's got the engineering. Great engineering. But hear me out. Blockies is selling these model kits for like what, 10, 12 bucks? At most $15, $18. And they don't weigh a lot. I mean, they're light plastic, but they're very solid, sturdy plastic. And look at the paint job on the plastic. I don't see any reason why Hasbro can't take a page from Blockies. Look at how much metallic stuff this thing has. Even the blue plastic that they use, it feels like the plastic is singing because of that really nice shine and gloss. And Hasbro decides to go way cheaper than that. And I'm not saying this is expensive. This is cheap. It's not going to increase the price of production. In fact, it might even decrease it because it's lightweight plastic. But you can see the stark difference. This is miles, leaps and bounds better than this figure in terms of aesthetic and look and feel. Because, like I said in the beginning, engineering is spot on. But quality, color, choice of plastic, and aesthetic just sucks. So the figure does come with some accessories. He comes with this Barbie Malibu Mansion playset shield. I mean, really, Hasbro, you couldn't be bothered to get some clear acrylic pink, but you had to do some pastel painted pink. Really? Okay, and then you've got these boring gray plastic that they used for the guns. You could have easily molded this in gunmetal gray, black, or dark gray, but they molded in plain gray. What the heck, Hasbro? It's sturdy enough. It's not cheap when you feel it. It does feel pretty premium, but the choice, it just makes it look cheap. Okay, so he can hold these weapons if you want him to. Like guns, as what the instructions say. So yeah, okay, all well and good. And they store on the shield. And let me set that off to the side. Okay, let's look at the sculpt, okay? This is one thing going for this figure. It's got an amazing sculpt. You see this head sculpt? Wow, it looks phenomenal. It looks like straight out of the movie. Then you start going around. There's a lot of solid pieces, hardly any hollow pieces. The wings are solid, the legs are solid. I just don't get the colors. They had to go cheap on the colors. They had cheap on the plastic. It feels heavy, it feels very solid, and yet it looks cheap. Here's the joints, the shoulder joints. This is the first thing you will notice when you take them out of the packaging. Look how loose, and it feels like a knockoff. Really, Hasbro? It could just be me. Let me know if the shoulders on your figure are also bad. Okay, the first thing you will notice when you take him out of the packaging, take him out of the twist ties, is these toes, they come off fairly easily. The plastic is solid, but when you look closely, they kind of feel like they're 3D printed. So, I don't know. See, look at here. Really nice gold metallic paint on the kneecaps and on parts of the chest. And then they give you the mustard diarrhea poop colored wings. Why? See, you got gunmetal gray paint apps right here. It's just so inconsistent. It's driving me nuts. So, yeah. And also, when you take him out of the packaging, these shoulders, they really come off. And this is how cheap the plastic is. Yep. Probably for safety reasons, for anti-breakage or whatever. So if you want to start posing him, you gotta just jam this entire like side torso section, just jam it in there so that it doesn't fall off. And I don't have to take back what I said about engineering, because this thing is just like an actual pain to just jam in. And this, if you could plug it in tightly, it will stay on. Okay, gray plastic. Like I said, albeit they look plain bland, they are premium quality, the gray plastic. The mustard poop plastic is to a certain extent premium grade, but it just sucks. The colors look horrible. Okay, the blue plastic is cheap, definitely. The dark gray plastic, cheap. Okay, so combined with all that, the cheap color and some of the cheap plastic, it looks very cheap. On to more engineering marvels of this figure, because, well, let's talk about articulation first. So you got a sort of bowl jointed neck. You got a waist swivel. You got these loose bowl jointed shoulders. Yep. And then the arms have hinges, go in and out, bicep swivel, hinge elbow. The wrists don't move. Hips are on pin joints. You can do the splits, kick forward, backward, thigh swivel, hinge knees, and you got the rocker tilt. Now, one of the things I really liked about this figure, like I said, apart from the engineering, he's got a battle mode. And part of the battle mode is like just all the weapons coming out. And I think Blockies can take a page from Hasbro here. I mean, Blockies is not allowed to make transforming figures, but I'm pretty sure they'll have some wiggle room with the mechanized and sort of transforming weapons or gimmicks. Maybe they can talk to Hasbro about that, because the way Blockies is you got to replace the arms to make it the blaster and all that, and they can take a page from Hasbro, because Hasbro has engineered this figure very well for a very kick-ass battle mode. So the first thing you want to do is fold down the chest, and you get that face plate, and look how cheap that thing looks. Look at that. They couldn't put any flake on it or metallic paint or whatever. Man, Hasbro. Okay, the shoulders, pop these out. You rotate the cannons, and he's got his shoulder cannons, okay? The arms, they turn into cannons by just pushing them out. I thought this was great. I think Blockies could do this. They can ask permission from Hasbro if they're allowed to do that, but I think that would really make their model kits better if they could do this, and then instead of just removing the plates and putting them back. So great guns, or I should say arm blasters. And then his feet or legs, they got the pop out cannons. Look how cheap that plastic is. I mean, come on. It's so cheap looking. It feels, okay, it's not solid. My bad. It's cheap. I mean, unbelievable, Hasbro. You give us Devastation, Optimus Prime, and Bumblebee that have amazing plastic, and you give us this. Okay, what else? This is something I thought Blockies could have done in my review of the Sentinel Prime model kit. They could have done something like this that allowed you to transform, sort of pseudo-transform the legs into the thrusters. So he'll have his like flight mode, okay? It's a little tricky to pluck out the blasters, but and there you go. He's in his flight mode, battle mode. And if you want to, you just spread out those wings. Die, rebels! So yeah, it's an amazing alt mode. I mean, the engineering that they put in all of that, just super. I'm not complaining about that, but the way it looks like it's a prototype. And you look at the box, the photoshopped images should have been how this thing should have looked like, but this feels like the actual prototype that needed paint. Okay, to transform him into his Cybertronian jet mode, you want to set the weapons off to the side. You want to fold down or push down the forearms into gun mode. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to lift this backpack up, and then the wings, they are going to fold down and tab at the bottom. Same here, untab, and then it'll fold and form the wing assembly. Fold that down, fold that straight up. Okay, and then you want to just pull down these, I guess these shoulders, rotate the chest, and then fold, just knock them down like that, set them off to the side. You want to rotate the head, and then the nose cone is going to flip up and then tab onto where the shoulders left off. Okay, then the legs, you want to join the legs together. You want to fold out the thrusters as you would in battle mode. Fold them down, and the toes going to fold down. Okay, and then the wing assembly, the whole backpack, is going to tab here, fold down and tab onto the rear of the, I guess, the calves or the knees. They're going to tab in, and that will form the jet. And then the wings, there's a tab right here for the wings, and then the wings have a tab right there for the upper part of the feet. That's what you got to do. Tab, 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 and tab. And then the arms, they're going to fold down here. Okay, there we go. Straighten that out. Make sure the thighs are straightened out and are touching the wings. Okay, not what I did earlier. Okay, that'll allow you to tab the chests or the pecs on to the thighs. Same thing here. Tab. It's going to stay there. And then the arms, they are going to tab onto the wings. Got some slots right there for those tabs. There. Go ahead and just slot them. Okay. All that's left are tail fins. Fold them up like that. There is Sentinel's jet mode. Aesthetically, the design looks amazing. I love it. I love the way everything comes together. There's hardly any gaps. Yeah, sure, there's some gaps here and there, but hardly anything. It's a very, very solid jet mode. Transformation is very satisfying, but the ugliness of this poop mustard color just comes through. You know, it should have been this color, not this. They don't even match. They couldn't match the mustard color on this one and this one. So yeah, the blue is not that bad. Looking at it again, it still looks cheap, but you can see more of the sort of sandpaper glitter that it has. And yeah, from afar, it's okay, but once you look at it up close, you see that it's not as premium as you'd like it to be. So the shield is going to go up here. The guns, we're going to use the flat pegs and tab them onto the side of the cockpit or the fuselage. And that's that. No landing gear. If you want some makeshift landing gear, you can fold this down and the feet down, and there you go, landing gear. But you don't have to, because he'll stand okay. So he's giving me this Cyclonus vibes. Really nice looking Cybertronian jet. And speaking of Cyclonus, here's my select Cyclonus. As you can see, the reverse wings are there, very similar. So for a Voyager class figure in alt mode, yeah, it's okay. Good enough size, great weight, nice mass. And so some final thoughts on the Studio Series Transformers 1 Sentinel Prime. It was an almost perfect Sentinel figure, in my opinion. The engineering, the design, The way this thing transforms, I thought it was perfect. The only thing really missing is that double-bladed melee weapon. But it's the color choices that they chose for the plastic of this figure. To a certain extent, or a great extent, the quality of plastic, the poor quality of plastic, is what's really ruining this figure. And I hate it. I hate that part of that fact about this figure, because I love almost everything about it. The sculpt is amazing. Even the size. It's a little small for a Voyager in robot mode, but it looks great with the other figures. The transformation was a real treat. The jet mode was amazing, very solid, hefty and all that. He's got a ton of these battle mode features that I absolutely love. I thought they were very well engineered. So I don't know what to make of this figure. It's really a mixed bag for me, because on the engineering standpoint alone and design, this thing should get a 9.5 out of 10. But on the quality side and the color choice, it should get a 2 out of 10. So I don't know. I think I should give it a 6.5 out of 10 overall. If you desperately need a Studio Series Sentinel Prime figure, and it's a matter of life and death and you can't wait, sure, go ahead and get this one. Just don't pay more than 40 bucks for it. But if you can wait, I'm pretty sure after Takara Tomy releases the exact same figure, I'm pretty sure they're going to re-release him at some point as a Selects figure or as a Dramatic Capture series figure with the proper paint apps. For sure that's going to happen. It may be a year from now, 5 years from now, but they're going to do it. You know, if you can wait, I would advise you do that. If you cannot wait that long, but you're willing to wait a bit, I suggest you wait for I'm sorry to say this, Hasbro, this is all your fault, Hasbro, for being lazy and for being cheap. Wait for the third-party companies to do a knockoff version of this figure, maybe an oversized version or a just same-sized version, but with die-cast pieces, with proper metallic color finishes. It's probably going to be half the price or 1/3 the price of this current Studio Series figure. That's where I am with this figure. Am I being too unfair or too hard on this figure? I really thought they almost made the perfect Studio Series Sentinel Prime figure. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this Transformers Studio Series from the movie Transformers 1 Voyager Class Sentinel Prime. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.